Hello, everyone. I know it's daylight. Not very common. It's me. I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. This is going to be a hard one to talk about, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because that's my job. It's not my job. I'm not getting paid for this, but so I have a movie review today. First of a few reviews today. Let's get to it. So, first movie on the docket today is a movie called Breaking News in Yuba County. Breaking News in Yuba County was directed by this guy, Tate Taylor, who, no relation, who made, among his work is The Help, which I think is quite good, The Girl on the Train, which I also think is pretty alright, and Get On Up, which I love. I think that movie's underrated, and Ma, which I have not seen. So, I never saw that one. So, this is called Breaking News in Yuba County, and, bear with me, this is another one with a plot that's, interesting. Allison Janney stars as Sue Buttons. Sue Buttons, who's married to her husband, Carl Buttons. One day, so he's clearly in deep with something, bad. She's kind of a pushover. She kind of, the world kind of takes advantage of poor Sue, and, for instance, when we first meet her, it's her birthday. Not only does no one remember, but the person making her cake and misspells Sue to suck. Doesn't turn the C into an E, and so that's what she's left with. We're kind of introduced to this character. Basically what happens is that Carl, her husband, played by Matthew Modine, is having an affair, as well as is in trouble with some gangsters. She is unaware of this. She goes to kind of surprise her husband and catches him in the act with his mistress, but wouldn't you know it, he suffers a heart attack and dies. Sue, who's always wanted to be on television, always wanted to get some attention, buries the body, then goes on TV with her sister, Mila Kunis, who's a reporter, and claims that Carl went missing. And soon, other sort of associated characters in this little town get involved, and soon chaos erupts. Here's the thing. I know that was a lot. This movie has been taking a pounding from critics. It's at 8% on Rotten Tomatoes. I don't think it's that bad. What I think is, though, but I do think that it's a missed opportunity. And that's not even counting think of all the actors I've listed so far. Allison Janney, Mila Kunis, Matthew Modine, so forth. But then you also got in this cast, you got Wanda Sykes, you got Awkwafina, you got Clifton Collins Jr., you got Regina Hall, Ellen Barkin, you know what I mean? Like, so many good actors. Jimmy Simpsons shows up for a little bit. I wonder how these many actors got in there. Allison Janney's an executive producer, too. It's very odd. All I'll say about this movie is, I don't fault Tate Taylor. Like I said, I think he's a good director. I don't fault Allison Janney or any of the cast. They're all terrific, and they're relatively good in this film. But something is just... How do I describe it? This movie's script was on the Blacklist. In fact, the Blacklist is listed as producer on the film. If you don't know what the Blacklist is every year they compile kind of a list of screenplays that are seen by executives as the most liked unproduced scripts that are kind of like... On paper, I can see how this movie, the script, even the dialogue, and the events that transpire in the movie sound really, really compelling and good on paper. There's a lot of twists and turns and a lot of creativity. And even the acting choices seem good on paper. The problem is, I don't know if it's Tate Taylor's direction. Everybody has an off day. I'm not blaming him. The editing, I don't know what it is. Something from the minute one just feels off. It feels like the writing and the line deliveries are in slow motion. It feels like certain things they set up don't pay off with the right delivery. It's weird. It's very, very odd. And then, in the last, 30 minutes, it kind of becomes the movie it was meant to be. It kind of gets really twisted and violent, even. But by that point, because everything is so off, what could have come off as, a jolt and a nice kind of, twisted surprise kind of comes off kind of mean-spirited. because everything else so tonally feels off that you don't quite understand, once it gets crazy, the movie should really come to life, but because the rest of the movie is so kind of turgid, it doesn't. Now, I did laugh. There were a few moments, especially, with this kind of cast, you're going to get a couple chuckles out of this, but here's another problem. I feel like a lot of the actors are miscast in their parts. I think they're good, but I just think their parts are miscast. Mila Kunis can play selfish and kind of conceited. She played Jackie Burkhart for 8 years on a 70s show, but here she plays a character, and all the characters are kind of horrible people in this, but she's kind of this, opportunistic kind of. She doesn't even really care about her big sister. No one really does. It's not fair. And the biggest crime of all is Awkwafina doesn't. I love Awkwafina. I think she's funny. She doesn't quite come off right as this kind of gangster's daughter who wants to appeal to her dad. It just doesn't quite work. And then Allison Janney, who I think is a national treasure. And the other thing with her and Ellen Barkin in this, for the few people who this is a reunion of another black comedy that's better, that I actually love. Drop Dead Gorgeous. They were both in Drop Dead Gorgeous. This is kind of like a reunion for them from that movie. But the problem is that it just doesn't come together. And Allison Janney, you see her every week on Mom. You see her in Drop Dead Gorgeous, you see her in the Way, Way Back. The thing is, Allison Janney's at her best, I feel, when she gets to be kind of the spitfire, sarcastic type. I just couldn't buy Allison Janney as sort of this nebbishy sad sack housewife whose life is miserable. I just couldn't buy it because I know who the kind of performer Allison Janney is. I think that was a nice challenge for her, and I kind of see why she was so gung-ho about it, probably put her name as an executive producer, but it just didn't work. It's too bad, because I really feel like this movie had potential. It had a good cast, it had a good director again. It even had a relatively good plot trajectory, but and I could see it working, even the setup as crazy and convoluted as it is, I could see this working. But it just didn't come together. I don't feel like I need to talk about this too much more, you guys. I have some other big things planned today. This was kind of a minor effort. I didn't hate breaking news in Yuba County, but I don't think it's anything to get too excited about, despite the cast, which is too bad. It just feels executed kind of off. 2 stars out of 5. I don't know what to say. That's kind of score I give to a movie where I think that it had potential, but it just wasn't all there. 2 out of 5 stars, and I feel shame saying that because I love a lot of the people in this movie, the people who made it, but it just didn't come together. What can you do? Yeah. 2 out of 5 stars. Breaking news in Yuba County, you let me down a little bit. But I guess that's it for me today. Today, like I said yesterday, I'm planning on next reviewing in just a little while, The Map of Tiny Perfect Things. I'm going to do SNL later. I also have another movie review I'm planning today. A surprise, a super secret, ultra crunchy, chocolate-coated, super-duper bonus movie review. There's a certain movie that's gotten a lot of buzz that I didn't think I was going to be able to see for a while, and it turns out I am able to see it this weekend, and it's not even that long of a movie, so I might just do a review. Watch it and do a review. I'm not going to tell you what it is, so you're going to have to be surprised. That's it for me. Trailer trash, there was none for this movie. Was there shawarma? Yes, there was a little bit of shawarma during the credits. It's actually one of the funnier scenes, so I guess if you want to see the movie, that part's actually kind of funny. Yeah. That's it. I don't know what else to say about this movie. See you guys very soon. Hopefully I'll have more to talk about in the next movies, and that's my time. Thank you all for watching. See you next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the movie and TV guy. I see it all. I'm happy to share it with you. Thank you all.